QST from the Denver Radio Club. Welcome to the Denver Radio Club Net being held on repeater W0TX. This is a meeting held on the air every Sunday evening around 8:30 p.m. Good evening. My name is Daron. That's Delta Oscar, Romeo Oscar, November. My call sign is Kilo 1, Delta Bravo Charlie. I'll be your net control station transmitting from Inglewood, Colorado. If there is any emergency or priority traffic during this net, say break at any pause, and the net will be suspended until the emergency or priority traffic is completed. This net is for Denver Radio Club members and all interested radio amateurs. We're here to share information concerning any ham-related activities. Regular meetings of the Denver Radio Club are held on the third Wednesday of the month at 7 p.m. These are held online, W0TX.org for more information. They are also streamed and archived on youtube.com/Denver Radio Club. Our recent meeting was by Ryan Frederick, WR7F. He gave a presentation on Meshtastic, 33 centimeter license-free fun with Meshtastic. So if you missed that, you can head on over to youtube.com/Denver Radio Club, and one of our recent videos was from his presentation. The next meeting, minimize net script there. The next meeting is going to be held on the third Wednesday of April, which is going to be the 15th. An Elmer session is held at 6 p.m. just prior to our monthly meeting. This session addresses any amateur radio questions you might have. So whether you are new to amateur radio or interested in some new application of amateur radio, this is a session where you can get help. Also, every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m., except the third Wednesday, and when our monthly meeting is held, there is a learning net held on 145.490 megahertz and 448.625. This is another area where you can find answers for your amateur radio-related questions. I did forget to mention our meeting this month was held in person as well as online. So look forward to that, hopefully happening more in the future. But just listen to our nets and watch our website for more information. When we get to the check-in portion of the net, you can follow along if you would like. Visit w0tx.org/check-in. There's a spreadsheet that shows current check-ins along with basic info about that caller. Again, w0tx.org/check-in. As a general interest club, we provide emergency communication for the Salvation Army, the City of Wheat Ridge Police Department, the City of Lakewood Police Department, and the West Metro Fire District. We're always looking for members who would like to participate in the support. Please contact our club president if you'd like to help. Our current president is Kevin Schmidt, Kilo 0, Kilo Papa Sierra. Kevin's telephone number is 303-475-9234. The Denver Radio Club website is w0tx.org. Again, Kevin's telephone number is 303-475-9234. The Denver Radio Club also participates in the ARRL Volunteer Examiner Program. If you have a need for VE testing, our VE team is available to support you. Please contact our VE team lead, Robert Pickett, Kilo 0 Romeo Alpha Papa, at w0tx.org. The Denver Radio Club VE team stands ready to support VE testing for large or small groups, including groups of 2 or more. This is the Denver Radio Club Net W0TX, and this is Kilo 1 Delta Bravo Charlie serving as net control. Are there any special announcements or bulletins for the net this evening? If so, please call now. This is Kilo 1 Delta Bravo, your net control station for W0TX. We are also on allstarlink, node 42851. So if you're not in state, maybe for the future, but you can always use an Android or an iPhone app to connect to our repeater, allstarlink for node 42851. Before regular check-ins, I would like to welcome and invite any visiting radio amateurs to check into the Denver Radio Club net this evening. During this net and other nets, a 100 Hz PL repeater access tone is required. You can use either 145.490 MHz with a minus 600 kHz offset, or 448.625 MHz with a minus 5 MHz offset. Are there any visiting radio amateurs who would like to check in to the Denver Radio Club net tonight? Please call now.
KK4 FTP, Lee and Thornton.
Excellent. Welcome, Lee and Thornton, Kilo 4 Foxtrot Tango Papa. Lee, thank you so much for checking in. Welcome to the net.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me, KK4 FTP.
Next, I would like to welcome and invite any newly licensed or recently upgraded amateurs to check in. Newly licensed or recently upgraded, please call now. All right, this is Kilo 1 Delta Bravo Charlie. Looks like Lee was maybe issued a recent upgrade or new call sign just a couple days ago, the 20th of March this year. So congratulations on that.
Yep, just got my vanity. Thank you for that.
All right, I will now take regular check-ins in groups. Please let me know if you have traffic when you check in, and I'll get back to you. First, radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin with the letters A through E. Alpha through Echo, let me know your call sign, your name. And if you have any traffic or questions, A through E, please call now.
Kilo Delta 0 Delta Uniform Juliet, Lakewood. I do have one question. November 0 Echo Tango Victor, lamps are off.
November Bravo 0, Bravo November, Bob in Arvada. Kilo Charlie 0, Charlie Zulu, Bob in Thornton.
Whiskey Bravo 0 Alpha Zulu Victor, Rich in Westminster. Kilo Foxtrot 0 Alpha Whiskey Charlie, Brian Centennial, Charlie.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. I'll hold up there for just a moment. There were a few doubles in there, but I think I got everyone in there. Let's start with N0ETV, Lance. I'd like to welcome the knowledge of the following check-ins: N0ETV Lance, KD0DUJ, Chris, NB0BN, Robert, KC0CZ, Bob, K0DPR, Paul, WB0AKV, Rich, KF0AWC, and online we had K0BF, Dustin, checking in. If you did try to check in and you didn't hear your call sign, please try once more. This is K1 DBC Net Control. There was a station trying to check in. I think the same issue happened last week. We hear static, but we do not hear any voice. So make sure your radio is configured correctly. 145.490 for receive, 144.890 for transmit, and a 100 hertz PL tone is required to transmit. So that station checking in, just static, unfortunately. If you want to try once more, go ahead. All right, this is K1 at DBC Net Control. We'll now move down to the next part of the alphabet. Foxtrot through Juliet. If your call suffix begins with the letters F through J, let me know your call, sign your name, and if you have any traffic questions, F through J, please call now.
0TX repeater.
W0GB, Jerry Westminster.
Kilo 6 Hotel Juliet Victor, K6HJV Tom Arvada, and I do have a comment.
Kilo Foxtrot 0, Foxtrot Papa India, Ron in Lakewood.
All right, bit easier that time. Net Control, I'd like to welcome and acknowledge the following check-ins: W0GV Jerry, K6HJV Tom, with traffic, and KF0 FPI Ron. Thank you all so much for checking in. Next, we'll move down to the next portion of the alphabet. Pardon me. Kilo through Oscar, K through O. If your call suffix begins with either K through O, please check in now.
Kilo 0, Kilo Papa Sierra, Kevin Lakewood.
Whiskey 0, Lima Foxtrot, Orland and Golden, no traffic, over.
Kilo Echo 0, Oscar Sierra India, Tom Highlands Ranch, no traffic, over.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. I'd like to welcome and acknowledge the following check-ins. K0 KPS, Kevin, Club President. We'll get things back to you here in just a few minutes. WW0LF Orlin, KE0OSI Tom, and we just had checking in KD0 CGF Kenny. We'll now move to Papa through Tango. If your call suffix begins with letters P through T, Papa through Tango, let me know your call sign, your name, and if you have traffic or questions, please check in now.
Whiskey Bravo 2, Sierra Hotel Romeo, Stan in Denver, no traffic.
Whiskey 0, Tango, Romeo Mike, Tom and Aurora.
Kilo 4, Romeo November Yankee, Ron in Thornton, no traffic. Kilo 0, Romeo Charlie Whiskey, Robert in Spring, Texas, no traffic.
Uniform Echo Golf, John, Lakewood.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Hold up there for just a moment. Net Control would like to welcome and acknowledge the following check-ins. WB2 SHR Stan, W0TRM Tom, K4RNY Ronnie, K0RCW Robert, and KF0UEG John. This is K1 DBC Net Control. Just as a note, I think DUJ Chris mentioned he had traffic. If you did, I'll get back to you as well. My apologies for not noting that earlier. All right, and last but certainly not least, uniform through Zulu. If your call suffix begins with the letters U through Z, please call now.
November 1, Zulu, Tango Tango. Dan in Martello, no traffic.
Kilo Foxtrot 0, Victor Papa Juliet, Brett in Castle Pines, no traffic.
All right, this is K1 at DBC Net Control. There was a slight double there, so if you don't hear your call sign, let me know here in just a moment. N1ZTT, Dan got you checked in, and KF0VPJ, Brett. So if you did try to check in just then and you didn't hear your call sign, please try once more.
Kilo Echo 0, Yankee Kilo Victor, Bill in Lakewood.
All right, got you that time, Bill. KE0YKV got you checked in. All right, we'll open up the whole alphabet. A through Z, Alpha through Zulu. All call signs, all call suffixes. Let me know your call sign, your name, and if you have any traffic or questions, please call now. One more call, A through Z, Alpha through Zulu. We're taking all check-ins, A through Z. Please call now. All right, nothing heard. This is K1 DBC Net Control for the Denver Radio Club W0TX. I think we did have a couple people with traffic. We'll get back to you guys here in just a bit. We'll throw it over to our club president here in just a minute. But do also be sure to stick around after the net. We'll be playing the recent ARRL audio news podcast, about 13 minutes, similar to the AR Newsline, but from the ARRL. So with that, we'll throw it over to Kevin Schmidt, K0KPS, our club president, for any updates. Please call now, or please go ahead.
Thanks, Jerome, for stepping up and taking the net tonight. We certainly appreciate it. And good job pulling out some of those doubles and triples as they called in. Good job there. Next, I want to welcome Lee, a visitor to the net tonight. As a visitor, and he does live in the Denver metro area. You're always welcome to join us on the nets, either on Sunday night or on the Learning Net on all the Wednesdays except the third Wednesday of the month. And if we have any club activities, you're also more than welcome to join us for any of the club activities, as we are an open club for that. So welcome, Lee, for that. as Delone mentioned, we did have a club meeting on the 18th, and it was Meshtastic. We had a good attendance in person. I didn't have an opportunity to see what checked in online, but I hope everybody who participated in that got some good information from Ryan on Meshtastic, and maybe that opens up some more information, or you might want to try that mode of radio. So I have to thank Ryan for stepping up and providing that presentation.
W0TX repeater.
Along those lines, if you have a topic that you're interested in presenting, the club is more than welcome to have you present on that third Wednesday. And if there's any topics that you are interested in and you'd like to get more information, certainly don't hesitate to email me at president@w0tx.org for any suggestions, of a topic that you'd like to see, and we can certainly look to arrange a speaker for that particular topic. So keep that in mind. The only other thing I have, to bring up is on April 4th up in Longmont, Larkfest will be happening. You can get more information at Whiskey Zero Echo November Oscar.org/2026 Larkfest. That's LARCFEST for additional information, and it's an opportunity to either sell some of that unwanted equipment, or if you're looking for something, it's an opportunity to potentially get it at a bargain price. So that's the Longmont Larkfest on April 4th, which is 2 weeks from yesterday. So other than that, I don't have any other additional information for you folks. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Net Control, Jerome, and this is Kevin, K0KPS, back to Net Control.
Excellent. Thank you so much for the updates there. Upcoming Larkfest. Make some eyeball QSOs and have some good in-person ham radio flea market and have some good fun up there. So very cool. This is K1DBC Net Control. Before I forget, on our Elmer session Wednesday night, a gentleman by the name of Wallace Gamble, call sign Alpha Charlie Zero Tango, mentioned he's moving out of state and has some equipment for sale. You can contact him ac0t@arrl.net. A complete satellite tower setup, a 15-foot tower, pair cross Yagis 144 and 70 centimeters, a G5400 rotator. If you're in the market for some equipment, again, Alpha Charlie Zero Tango @arrl.net. I also did see some emails going back and forth. I think someone else used our trade or our website for putting up some recent classifieds. So some equipment was recently put up for sale. So you can visit w0tx.org/trade. I think it was Pablo put some equipment up there, so you can check that out. Yeah, quite a few things here, just real quick. An ICOM IC7000, a Tokyo HY Power 100-watt amplifier, a Yaesu FT817, an MFJ 259B antenna analyzer, Kenwood TS590S transceiver, and a Drake R8B communications receiver. So, again, if you're in the market for some equipment, looks like it's some reasonably priced equipment there as well. So, check that out. With that, I think DUJ initially mentioned KD0DAJ. If you're still there, Chris, if you had traffic, I'll go right ahead.
Good
good evening to everybody on the net. This is Kilo Delta Zero Delta Uniform Juliet. Have you guys heard if Lakewood and Wheat Ridge are going to resume siren testing, or do you think that's not going to happen? KD0DUJ, back to net.
This is K1 DBC Net Control. I believe both departments at this point have ceased using those siren systems for more of a, I think, lookout alert app, at least in one instance. So I don't think either siren tests will be happening again, and I don't think we'll have to be supporting them, unfortunately. So I'm not sure what they are doing with them, but I don't think either city are running those tests or using those systems anymore.
Okay, yeah, because I went to a Lakewood City Council meeting and I brought that to their attention, and I said, you know, what if those people who don't have access to, like, say, Smart 911 or Lookout, how are they going to get that information without the warning sirens?
That's a good question. Yeah, I think there is just there might be an auto dialer system that just auto dials those that don't have an app potentially, but I don't know. But I think one of our meetings, Jeff, let me see. Jeff Irvin, KB0CHT, had mentioned, I think, that some cell providers and some phone providers on a monthly basis do encapsulate that data and enroll them in auto dialing, potentially. So that's potentially what there is an alternative for, but I don't know. So yeah, I wonder, was that just a general comment, and was there any sort of response to that or anything? Or if any other follow-up, go ahead.
Yeah, because when I brought it up to City Council's attention, they were like, oh, wait a minute, maybe we should not get rid of the warning siren system. Because I made them think when I brought that up at their general comment.
Gotcha. Yep. I mean, kicking and screaming, we're going to have to be dragged by our feet sometimes with some of these things. So, unfortunately, if, the minimum things people have now, at least, is a phone line of some sort, analog or a cell phone. So, hopefully that by that means that can happen through that. So, anyone else on that, though, real quick, siren deactivation information over on the lakewoodco.gov website or Wheat Ridge as well. Different smartphone apps or just different ways to enroll your phone number into a text message and calls, essentially. Anyone else on that? Go ahead. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control over on the Lakewood Gov website. Lakewood transitions to modern emergency notification system. Their outdoor sirens initially installed to provide general warnings to those outdoors have reached the end of their service life. The effectiveness is limited by distance, weather, background noise, and their inability to reach residents indoors. Furthermore, these sirens provide only a generic alert, offering no specific information about the type or location of the emergency. Lookout Alerts, powered by Smart 911, the official emergency notification system for Lakewood and all Jefferson County, is designed to be your most reliable source of information during critical events like severe storms, wildfires, or floods. Unlike the old sirens, Lookout Alert, powered by Smart 911, provides detailed, life-saving information exactly where and when you need it. This is K1 DBC Net Control. Anyone else on that? Otherwise, we'll throw it over to Tom HJV. Nothing heard. Tom, Kilo 6 Hotel Juliet Victor K6HJV, if you're still there, thanks for patiently waiting. If you had traffic, go right ahead.
9 p.m.
W0TX repeater.
evening, Darren. This is Tom, K6HJV. Going along with what Kevin had to say, I was at the meeting Wednesday night, and Ryan did one fine job of presenting mesh. In fact, I learned a lot. I thought it was quite interesting. The only thing is, well, I guess there's some more equipment I'm going to have to buy. Other than that, it was a great meeting. My hat's off to Ryan for a good presentation. Back to you, Darren.
All right, sounds good there, K6HJV. Yeah, watched it myself in real time. Yeah, WR7F. Yeah, great presentation. So, yep, it's always great to mess around with it. Yeah, it's another thing you might have to buy, but at the price point, that's not too hard to break the bank. So, very cool. This is K1 DBC Net Control. I didn't see anybody else indicate they had any traffic questions, but any other traffic or questions for us, for the club, or any other check-ins, please call there.
Kilo Foxtrot 0, Foxtrot Papa India.
KF0 FPI Ron, the net is yours.
Yeah, good evening, Jerome, and everybody on the net. Your little advertisement thing for Wally, the Alpha Charlie 0 Tango, that satellite tower antenna array that he had for sale. He sold it. In fact, he sold it to me, and I'm pretty sure he pulled it off the trading post on Thursday, but I could be wrong. But that's, I got to go get it in a few weeks, but that's been sold.
Oh, wow, that was quick. KF0, FBI, Ron. Excellent. That's great to hear. So I'm glad we were able to help him out, and you were able to get some new equipment. So, yeah, let us know how that works out. So that sounds like a pretty interesting setup. So maybe satellite tracking and, yeah, some satellite work. So very, very cool. KF0, FBI. So I guess cancel that. AC0T no longer has that equipment for sale. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. I think you may have mentioned this, Ron, or someone else mentioned on our Learning Net once, the YouTube channel Save It for Parts. So if anybody's interested, this is a young man and does a lot of satellite work. So if you want to get some updates on satellite tracking and Raspberry Pis and radio communications, Save It for Parts if anybody's interested on what that kind of looks like. This is Kilo 1, Delta Bravo Charlie Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Net. Let me see, getting back to the script here. Any other traffic at the moment? Comments, questions, any other traffic check-ins for this evening's Sunday night net? Please call now. This is K1 DBC Net Control. I think last week I mentioned our AllStarlink node didn't seem to be transmitting out. We could dial into it from other nodes. Someone may have heard me say that because a few hours later it seemed to start working. So this evening, after the net, I'll be dialing the AllStarlink number 516229. I'll be connecting to that, and it's the ARRL News radio over IP audio. It's streaming the ARRL audio news for March 20th, 14 minutes. So for the first time, I think, in quite a while, we are going to be utilizing the All-Star portion outward bound from our repeater here. So do bear in mind, it is working, but do not abuse that. I don't know if it was disabled for a reason, but our All-Star link can dial out to other nodes, and there's a couple of other features as well. We do have a parrot mode, so you can dial a certain number. We will put this out via an email. Again, not to be abused, but you can dial a DTMF tone and immediately start talking, and the repeater will repeat back what it heard. So if anybody's interested, that is a feature that is enabled. So we'll be putting that out. This is K1DBC Net Control. Any other comments, questions, check-ins, please call now.
This is KE0YKV.
Bill, KE0YKV, the net is yours.
All your talk about this All-Star Net and a few other things makes me think that might be a good hands-on program for a meeting this summer.
Yeah, I will jot that down. I definitely think that is, I certainly have a lot of interest in it. I'm sure a lot of people do. And it's just making more use out of the repeater that we have and features and functionality we've had for quite some time. I'll try to put something together as a presentation on kind of the rundown of our at least main repeater and some of the features and functionalities and how to utilize them and how to do that safely. Very cool. Yeah, absolutely. This is K1DBC Net Control. Again, some more good news is the allstarlink node might be able to connect directly to our Echolink node as well. So we have a pretty easy way of connecting two repeater systems. Again, we have to do it very, very safely, but look forward to that as well. I think it's actually really possible now. Using a different node, my personal AllStarlink node can connect directly to Echolink as well. So connecting my node to our Echolink node and my node to our AllStarlink node connects our two repeater systems together. It should be able to work natively though. So look forward to that as well. This is K1DBC Net Control. Yeah, lots of stuff here. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins? Please call now. All right. Again, after the net, we'll be playing the ARRL news, about 14 minutes for March 20th. This is K1DBC Net Control. Any other further comments, questions, check-ins, anything else? Please call now. Are there any late check-ins? Please call now. Information about upcoming contests can be found at contestscalendar.com and ARRL.org/contest calendar. Contest-calendar. Let's see if they have anything there. Let's see, the next one is going to be for April 19th, so quite some time out from here. The Rookie Roundup Phone Contest. Let me see what they have on that. It's a contest aimed at amateurs licensed for 3 years or less. This 6-hour event is held 3 times per year, April, August, and December. Rookies can contact anybody, while old-timers make contact with only rookies. Mentoring is a big part of this event. So that sounds like a pretty cool contest. This is K1DBC Net Control. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins? Please call now. Two other reminders. The High Noon meets daily at 12 p.m. noon. The Salvation Army Saturnet meets at 1500 Zulu, Monday through Saturday, 15.265. I'm not sure if that, I have to check into that. More information on the Denver Radio Club repeaters. For more information about our repeaters, please visit our website, W0TX.org/repeaters. This is K1 DBC Net Control. Just heard a few clicks there. Just checking if anybody else further comments, questions. We'll probably wrap the net up and start to play that audio. Last minute comments, questions, check-ins for this evening's net. Please call now. All right, your support of the Denver Radio Club is greatly appreciated. If you'd like to participate in the many club activities, please contact our club president, Kevin Schmidt, K0KPS. I'd like to thank everyone for checking in to the Denver Radio Club Net tonight. Your support is greatly appreciated. Tonight we had a nice, healthy check-in count of 26. Really appreciate everyone who's able to participate here. The Denver Radio Club Net, W0TX, is now closed, and the repeater is available for regular use. This is K1 DBC, your net control station. I will now pass some DTMF tones, potentially from a different radio, but you should hear the ARRL audio news playing for about 14 minutes. This is K1 DBC 7-3. Have a good week.
Node 42851. Node 44223. Transceive. Node 516229. Connected to
This is ARRL Audio News, your weekly summary of news highlights from the world of amateur radio. Okay, and this is the ARRL Audio News for Friday, March 20th, 2026. Of amateur radio and ionospheric science came together once again on March 14th and 15th at the 9th Annual HamSci Workshop. This year, HamSci 2026 was hosted by ARRL and held at Central Connecticut State University, just minutes away from ARRL headquarters in Newington, Connecticut. HamSci, the Ham Radio Science Citizen Investigation Program, encourages radio amateurs to collect data that scientists use in their research on ionospheric phenomena. This year's workshop featured 17 oral presentations, 3 tutorials, 5 demonstrations, and 31 posters, and through researchers from Virginia Tech, St. Francis University, Dartmouth College, Boston College, and others. ARRL CEO David Minster, NA2AA, welcomed participants at the conference opening, followed by Dr. Nathaniel Fussell, W2NAF, lead organizer of the HamSci community, who set the stage for the weekend's activities. The keynote speaker at Saturday evening's banquet was NASA astrophysicist and citizen science officer Dr. Mark Kuchner. The workshop also included a field trip to tour ARRL headquarters, and attendees were invited to participate in late-night operating from the iconic W1AW station. One overriding theme of the conference was that you don't need to be a physicist to contribute to valuable data. HamSci's basic personal space weather station, which costs about $100, can observe space weather effects both as a single-point measurement and as part of a larger distributed network. The group has made data collection fun with such activities as the Solar Eclipse QSO Party and Meteor Scattered QSO Party. One presentation demonstrated how ham observations and measurements captured ionospheric effects during 2 recent solar eclipses. At Sunday morning's poster session, University of Scranton student Owen Rosansky, KD3ALD, described a project to develop a dashboard of HF contesting, DXing, and general operations using data from the Personal Space Weather Station and other remote sources. The project is intended to enhance the real-time propagation assessments sought by amateur radio operators. Highlight of the weekend, ARRL Senior Director of Marketing and Innovation Bob Interbitson, NQ1R, described the atmosphere at the station as energetic. All 6 guest operating positions were occupied until closing time at 11:30 p.m. on Saturday. ARRL extends its thanks to many partners supporting Hamside 2026, including the University of Scranton, New Jersey Institute of Technology, the National Science Foundation, NASA, Amateur Radio Digital Communications, and more. Three amateur radio operators have been inducted into the Heritage CQ Hall of Fame for 2026. Professor David Leeson, Ph.D., W6NL. Leeson was first licensed in 1952. He is the author of the ARRL book, Physical Design of Yagi Antennas, and was a designer of the IARU International Beacon Network. Richard Dean Straw, N6BV, now a silent key, a renowned antenna expert. Straw was part of a Navy project in the early 1990s to measure HF dipole and vertical antennas in front of a hill, on top of a hill, and behind a hill in Utah. And Dr. Jose Otis Vincenz, NP4G, first licensed at the age of 16. Otis, known to his friends and fellow operators on the air as NP4G. You can read more about the 2026 inductees at ARRL.org. George Jacobs, W3ASK, an icon in the world of amateur radio and shortwave broadcasting, passed away last July. Jacobs, a World War II veteran and ARRL life member, was perhaps best known to hams as CQ Magazine's propagation editor for more than 50 years, from early 1951 until the end of 2001. Former CQ editor Rich Moseson, W2VU, recalled that George's primary goal throughout his tenure as propagation editor was to make ionospheric science understandable to the average ham and to relate what we now call space weather to the conditions that amateurs might expect on the bands. A founding member of the National Association of Shortwave Broadcasters, Jacobs continued to work in the field as a private consultant until his passing on July 3rd, 2025, just days short of his 101st birthday. A high school teacher in New York City, with the help from the ARRL Teachers Institute on Wireless Technology, TI, has successfully licensed nearly 700 students in the past 2 years as part of a wide-ranging program that is teaching students in 2 schools that radio today is a central part of just about everything. On March 12th, ARRL Director of Education and Learning Steve Goodgame, K5ATA, and Hudson Division Director Ed Wilson, N2XDD, traveled to Staten Island Technical High School to help lead teacher Everton Enriquez, KD2ZZT, administer license exams to 143 students, resulting in 131 new hands and 14 upgrades. Goodgame says Staten Island Technical High School is donor-funded Teachers Institute's first model school, which makes it eligible for additional resources and equipment. He notes that the school was the site of a TI session last year and will host another one this year. Goodgame adds that Enriquez has completed 2 TI modules and is now an institute instructor, as well as being a facilitator for Math for America and co-developer of a 9-week course for teachers on how to use amateur radio in the classroom. ARRL is seeking talented individuals to join our team and help advance amateur radio service. We are currently hiring for several impactful positions: RFI lab engineer, W1AW station manager, public relations and outreach manager. Also additional openings for awards program supervisor, development associate, IT support specialist, logbook of the world support associate, Partnership Manager. We value in-person collaboration, and these roles are 100% on-site at our headquarters at Wilmington, Connecticut. Full details may be found on the ARRL HR webpage at www.arrl.org/careers. The Hurricane Watch Net HWN is seeking net control operators. Among the criteria sought from operators and stations are those who are located in central and western regions of the U.S., Canada, Central America, and the Caribbean, and available for overnight operations midnight to 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Bilingual operators, Spanish and English or French Creole and English, are especially encouraged to apply because net control stations must manage stations across a wide geographic area during difficult propagation conditions. Having a well-equipped amateur station is highly beneficial. A tower-mounted beam antenna for 20 meters, reliable 20 and 40-meter HF capability, amplifier capability for strong, consistent signals, reliable internet connectivity. Net control stations coordinate through the HWN internal chat system during activations, and operators willing to make themselves available when hurricanes threaten. As HWN marks 62 hurricane seasons of watching, preparing, and activating wherever hurricanes threaten and whenever hurricanes threaten land in the Atlantic Basin, it is preparing for the 2026 Atlantic hurricane season, which forecasters suggest could once again be an above-average season. Amateur radio operators interested in training to become an HWN net control operator for the Hurricane Watch can learn more by visiting the net's website, www.hwn.org. In 2026, ARRL is commemorating America's 250th birthday with a year-long on-the-air celebration, the American 250 Worked All States WAS Award. Running now through December 31st, this special operating event challenges amateurs of all license classes to contact all 50 U.S. states and confirm those QSOs via ARRL's Logbook of the World. Operations begin at 0000 Zulu on Wednesday and end at 2359 Zulu on Tuesday. That's 7 days total for each activation. Currently scheduled now for March 25th, North Dakota, W1AW0, host W0N9. March 25th as well, Oklahoma, W1AW/5, hosted by the Altus Hamfest on March 28th. April 1st, California, W1AW/6, the host there is N76Q. April 1st in Mississippi, W1AW/5, the host is W5UE. And April 1st, North Carolina. You can see complete schedules at www.arrl.org/America250-WAS. Bruce Page, KK5DO, is here now with this week's AMSAT reports. Bruce?
Thanks, John. SilverSat is operational and providing SSDV images on 437.175 megahertz using GMSK 9K6. You can get the schedule for transmissions in your part of the world at https://operations.silversat.org/SSDV. The TENCO-2 satellite that was launched last week is operational and going through a commissioning period. The ground station did receive its CW beacon with basic telemetry. They also reported the signal was weaker than expected. The temporary TLEs are NORAD 98542. The IARU has coordinated frequencies for 2 new satellites being built. Lilium 4 is a 6U CubeSat from National Formosa University, set to launch later this year. Luca 01 is Montenegro's first amateur satellite. A timeline for launch of this 1U CubeSat has not been set, but will launch from Roscosmos. For George, W3ASK, may your sunspots be forever favorable. This is Bruce Page, KK5DO. Back to you, John.
And thanks, Bruce, for that report. What's ahead in radio sport this week, March 19th and 20th? It's the 14th Walk for the Bacon QRP contest. That's CW. March 19th, the NAQCC CW Sprint, CW as well. On March 21st, the PODXS 070 Club St. Patrick's Day contest. That's digital. And on March 21st to the 23rd, it's the BARTG HF Ready contest. That is digital as well. Remember to visit the ARRL contest calendar for more events and information. Upcoming section, state, and division conventions, March 21st, St. Patrick's Day Hamfest, hosting the ARRL West Texas Section Convention. That's in Midland, Texas. March 28th, the Central Dakota Amateur Radio Club Hamfest, hosting the ARRL North Dakota State Convention in Bismarck, North Dakota. And on April 4th, the RARS Fest, hosting the ARRL Roanoke Division Convention. That's in Raleigh, North Carolina. And, of course, remember to search the ARRL Hamfest Convention and database to find more events in your area. And finally this week, thanks to the San Diego Six Shooters in San Diego, California, for airing the ARRL audio news on their repeater. 7-3.
And that concludes ARRL audio news for this week. Our thanks to all contributors to this week's report. ARRL audio news is produced by the American Radio Relay League, the National Association for Amateur Radio. For more information on amateur radio or the ARRL, visit us on the web at arrl.org. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter by searching for ARRL. If you have a question or comment about ARRL audio news, email us at audionews@arrl.org. This program is copyright ARRL, all rights reserved. 73, and thanks for listening.
Information about this amateur radio. ARRLnews.rfnet.link.
This is K1DBC. That should disconnect on its own. I will check that, and if it doesn't disconnect, I will send the tones to do that here in just a moment. This is K1DBC Net Control. It did disconnect on its own. Very cool. This is K1DBC 7-3, and I'll be clear.
W0TX Repeater.